In this video, I'm going to answer all the DS-160 form related questions that I have received from students. There are about 22 of them, including questions about mistakes, on the DS-160 form, service fee, visa appointment, rescheduling, and emergency appointments. Let me emphasize that it is important to fill the DS-160 form correctly. This is because when there is a serious mismatch between what you put on the DS-160 form and what you say during the visa interview, you will automatically be denied a visa. Of course, unless there is a good reason for that. Being denied a visa is not always about how you answered your questions during the visa interview. It could also be traced to your DS-160 form. According to YouTube, 78% of those who watch my videos haven't subscribed to my channel yet. If you are one of them, consider subscribing to the channel, and also don't forget to hit the like button as well. If you have any question or any comment, please leave it in the comment section. Alright, let's get into the questions. Question 1. What documents do I need to have with me when filling the DS-160 form? Well, in filling the DS-160 form, you need to have the following documents: your passports, the I-20 issued from the school. The I-20 contains your service ID and details about your school, such as the address of your point of contact. Also, if you have previously traveled to the US, you will need the dates of your last 5 visits to the US. You may also be asked about your international travel history for the past 5 years. You need the details of your resume, to provide information about your current and previous education and work history. Question 2. Do I need to answer all the questions on the DS-160 form? Well, most questions are mandatory and must be answered in the spaces provided. For the questions that are marked optional, you don't have to provide answers to them. You may also answer a question which does not apply when the question does not apply to you. Note that you cannot submit your DS-160 form if you have not answered all the mandatory questions. Question 3. Can I stop filling the DS-160 form and continue later? Of course, you can save your application and return to a partially completed application later. And as soon as you create an account, you have to make sure you save your application ID, because you need the application ID and the answer to your security question to continue your application. Also note that you have 30 days to return to a partially completed application. To access your application after 30 days, you must save it to your computer's hard drive or a disk. There is an instruction on how that works. Question 4. Do I need to complete a DS-160 form for each applicant? If you are applying for the visa with your family, each member of the family who will be attending the interview must have their own separate submitted DS-160 form. Question 5. What if I lose my internet connection, or the application times out, or I receive an error? Will the application be lost? Well, all the information is automatically saved when each page is completed, so your application will not be lost. Just make sure you remember your application ID, or you have saved it somewhere. Once your application has been retrieved, it will begin at the last page you completed. You'll be able to edit previous pages if you want to. Question 6. Should I state my actual program or the one based on the CIP code for the program as stated on the I-20? Well, you can stick to the actual program as stated on the school's website. If asked during the visa interview, you have to say it is the same as the one on the I-20, and that the one on the I-20 is the CIP code for the program. If the visa officer is not convinced, he or she can look it up, on the internet or on the school's websites. The visa officers are actually aware of this, and I think they ask a question like this just to make sure you know the difference. Question 7. What is my intended length of stay on my DS-160? Well, the information is on your I-20. Question 8. Is there a difference between entity paying for the trip and the sponsor catering for the deficit? Well, if you have full funding, you should probably put the details of the one helping you with your flights and other expenses as the entity paying for your trip. However, if you have partial funding, the entity paying for your trip should be the same as the sponsor catering for the deficit. Question 9. I don't know anyone in the US. Who should be my US point of contact? Or what is my US address? Well, just use the school's address as you see on the I-20. Question 10. I submitted my online DS-160 form application but lost my confirmation page. Can I print a new one? Of course, you can reprint the confirmation page of an application that has already been submitted. Once you go to the DS-160 form page, use the retrieve option and then enter the necessary details to view your submitted application. You can then print the confirmation page. Question 11. I just realized that I made a mistake on the DS-160 form I submitted. What should I do? Well, you cannot make changes to the DS-160 form once you have submitted it. You will need to fill out a new DS-160 form. After completing a new DS-160 form, just go to the visa appointment page and update the new DS-160 barcode number on your appointment page at least 3 working days prior to your visa interview appointments, and print out a new appointment confirmation sheet. Question 12. Can I reuse my DX-160 form? Yes, you can use the information from a previously submitted DX-160 form to populate some of the fields on a new form. So let's say you created a DX-160 form and submitted it. If your visa application was approved, then you need to renew your visa in future. Or if you were denied, then you need to fill out a new application. There are two options. You can use option C, which is retrieve application, and then enter your previous visa application ID and then hit create a new application. Also, if you saved your DX-160 to a hard drive or disk, you can use option B, which is upload a previously saved application. Any of these options will populate some of the details in your previous application. Now, if you are getting any value from this video, please don't forget to hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Question 13. Who must pay the service fee? If you are applying for the US student visa the first time, you are required to pay the service fee of $350. If you are applying for the visa after you were previously denied and the new application is within 12 months of the date of your service fee payment, then you don't have to pay again. If you are a continuous student who has maintained his status and has not completed your program of study using the same service ID, you don't have to pay again. If you are a continuous student who has maintained his status and is transferring or changing program levels using the same service ID, you don't have to pay again. Question 14. What if I don't pay my service fee? Well, if you are required to pay the service fee and you do not pay it, your visa application will be denied by the US Department of State. Question 15. Whose address should be used in paying the service fee? It doesn't really matter whose address is put on it. I have paid many service fees and there were times I put the student's address and there were times I put my own address. When you are using Western Union, most of the time they require the one making the payment to put their address. What really matters is for the payment to be linked to the service number. The address doesn't really matter. Question 16. Can I transfer my service fee payment to another service number? If you would like to make corrections to your service fee receipt because of a mistake, or you have decided to go to a different school, or you would like to transfer your payment to a new service number, you have to email a detailed request to the following email address. If your visa is denied and you are reapplying with a different service number, if the application is within 12 months of the initial payment of the service fee, I believe you can still do a transfer. Question 17. What if I don't pay my MRV or visa fee, and when does it expire? All visa applicants are required to pay the machine readable visa fee of $160. This fee is not refundable. In Ghana, you can only pay at GT Bank. Without it, you cannot even schedule an appointment. Note that you can schedule your appointment within 1 year of your payment. Let's say you paid a visa fee on January 1st, 2024. You have until December 31st, 2024 to schedule an appointment. Note that in this example, you can schedule an appointment for December 2025 with the same visa fee if you schedule that appointment before January 1st, 2025. Question 18. There are no appointments available to book. What should I do? If there are no visa appointments currently available to book at your local US embassy or consulate, you will need to keep checking the US Travel Docs website every day. They tend to post new dates once in a while. Early in the morning tends to be a good time to check for cancellations and new appointment openings. Do not be quick to request an emergency appointment. If you do it too early, your request will be denied. Question 19. When can I request for an emergency appointment? Before you apply for an emergency appointment, you must ensure that you have documentary evidence to prove the urgency. The first thing is to keep checking for new dates. Let me add that I will not advise anyone to book an appointment in another country just because they are not getting an appointment, at their local embassy. If you are a student, my recommendation is to wait until about 45 days to your program start date if you don't get a date. This way you have a good chance of being approved for the emergency appointment. I am very sure you would have gotten a date by then. In scheduling your emergency appointment, you need to explain why you need the emergency appointment. You will need your I-20 form indicating the start date of your program within 60 days. You must also have your MRV receipt. Question 20. If my emergency appointment is declined, can I reapply for it? No, you cannot reapply if your request is denied or if you are denied a visa or if you miss your visa appointment. You can only request one emergency appointment, and if the consulate doesn't have emergency slots, your request may be denied. If your visa application is denied, I don't think you can even make an emergency appointment for a whole year. Question 21. How many times can I reschedule my appointments? The number of times you can reschedule your appointments depends on the US embassy you apply to. Generally, it ranges between 2 and 5 times using the same MRV. If you are in India, I think you have about 5 chances to reschedule your visa appointment. If you are in Ghana, I think you only have 2. So you have to be patient and don't be quick to reschedule. I think when you have one more chance to reschedule, you get a warning message that this will be your last chance to reschedule using the same MRV. Also note that you need to reschedule at least 24 hours before your appointment. Question 22, do I need to schedule a medical exam before my visa interview? If you're applying for an immigrant visa such as the green card, you will need a medical exam before your visa interview. For student visas, you do not need a medical exam. If there is any question I did not answer, please leave it in the comment section. If you have learned something from this video, please give this video a thumbs up and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in my next video.